Good evening, everyone. So, I'm starting the class, and as I told, from today we are proceeding to our pharmacognosy again, and we are going to start a new chapter today, that is the glycosides. Like the alkaloids, the glycosides are also the secondary metabolites. Like they are obtained from the primary metabolites. So, can you remember from which primary metabolite glycoside is obtained? We get alkaloid from which primary metabolite?
Proteins.
Yes, protein or amino acid. We get alkaloid from that. And I told that alkaloids, glycosides, and the volatile oils we get from three major primary metabolites. So from protein or amino acid we get the alkaloids. So from which kind of primary metabolite we get glycosides?
Carbohydrates.
Yes, carbohydrates. And from the lipids, we get the volatile oils. Not directly, but these are directly connected, the proteins or amino acid and the alkaloids. And you have already noticed in the classification thing of the alkaloids that what are the precursors for different kind of classes of the alkaloids, like the tropine alkaloid, the isoquinoline alkaloid, quinoline alkaloid. What were the isoquinoline alkaloids? Example. That are related to schedule X. Now compare two subjects. What are the isoquinoline alkaloids? I told 100 times. I asked also, you have already answered. What are the schedule X drugs?
Morphine, codeine, thebaine.
Schedule X drugs are the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. So whenever we are thinking about any kind of narcotic substance, it automatically appears in our head that that is related to somewhere opium. So the opium derivatives are of two types in case of pharmacognosy. According to the ring system, according to their chemical structure. One is which are containing the phenanthrene ring system, and the other is which are containing the benzyl isoquinoline ring system. So that are different ones. The thebaine, morphine, codeine are under which one? Phenanthrene or benzyl isoquinoline?
Phenanthrene.
Okay. And the benzyl isoquinoline are
Papaver.
yes, NPN. N for narcane, P for papaver, and N for nicotine. So the NPN are the benzyl isoquinoline derivative, and the TMC, thebaine, morphine, and codeine are the phenanthrene ring system containing derivatives or alkaloids. What are the quinoline alkaloids? Example.
Cinchona campotheca.
Yes, Cinchona campotheca. What are the tropine alkaloids?
Datura, belladonna, stramonium.
What are the tests for the tropine alkaloid identification test?
Vitali-Morin test.
Vitali-Morin test. And what is the test for the emetine identification test for emetine? Sodium molybdate is known as what? Which reagent? Related to a name of a scientist. Sodium molybdate is used for the identification of the imetin or the ipecac. What is the name of the test? Emerald green color is produced. That is the Frotte reagent test. Marquis test is related to which kind of alkaloid? Opium alkaloids. Marquis test is related to the opium alkaloids. And Halioquid test for which identification?
Quinoline alkaloids.
Okay. Rest of the people, please also answer. Only he is answering. Okay, then up to which thing we have completed our secondary metabolite was alkaloids. We have completed the introductory part, the properties of alkaloid, the classification, and the chemical test, and the points related to the important drugs from your exam point of view. Now we are proceeding to the glycosides, and today we will cover the basic part of the glycosides along with its classification. The classification of glycosides do not contain that much deep informations like the alkaloids, like chemical structures and all, because glycoside is comparatively easy. But the drugs, when we are starting for the glycosides, that are very vast in your syllabus. So we need to cover that very well, like the alkaloids. And whenever you are studying the alkaloids and the glycoside drugs together, there will be some problems regarding your memorizing. So you need to study it very well so that you can recognize all the properties clearly for each drug. So for the glycosides, they are naturally occurring compound found in plants and animals, and alkaloids were not found in animals, only in plants alkaloids were found, whereas glycoside can be obtained in both plant and animals. Now, whenever we are subjecting a glycoside for acid or enzymatic hydrolysis, hydrolysis is what? Breaking down of the compound. Then we see that glycoside is broken into two parts. One is glycon part and another one is a glycon part. And this glycon part is the sugar part. And the aglycon part is the non-sugar part, which is also known as glycine. And this glycon and aglycon part is connected by a linkage of any one atom among the four. The four atoms are carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus or oxygen. We will study in the next slide about it. Now you will know that whenever we are breaking down one glycosidic compound by acid or enzymatic hydrolysis, it will provide you two parts, two different compounds. One is glycon, that is the sugar moiety. Another one is aglycon, that is the non-sugar part. Next is the aglycon part and the glycon part will provide some property for which they are connected together for making a glycosidic compound. So the aglycon part, the glycine or non-sugar part, that is the aglycon, is responsible for the chemical and the therapeutic property. Whatever property is provided by one glycoside, it will be always due to the aglycon part. And the sugar part, what is its then requirement? That sugar part facilitate the absorption of glycoside and help in transportation of the glycan portion at the site of action. What that means? Whenever you are feeling some kind of problem in your body, there must be one point for which that problem occurs, where the problem occurs in your body. If you are facing some stomach pain, if you are taking some medicine of headache, nothing will happen to your stomach pain. It can't get reduced. So that site of action recognition is very important for your drug. And that particular drug will go to the site of action and it will work. So that sugar part recognizes that site of action and transport that glycan part having the therapeutic property to that site of action and facilitate the absorption of the glycosides. In the site of action, the glycoside gets absorbed and it works. You know that ADME in the pharmacokinetics, that the absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion. So that absorption is the first part of the pharmacokinetics and it is facilitated by the glycan or the sugar part. So what their functions are, that glycan part take the glycosidic drug to the site of action where the problem arises, and that after the transportation of the glycosidic drug or the glycan portion, that facilitate the absorption of the glycoside at that site of action. And after that getting absorbed, the glycan part will provide the chemical and the therapeutic property for that medical issue of your body. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that glycan part is the sugar part and the glycan part will be the medical the therapeutic part. So that glycan part is basically the beta D glucose. D is the dextrorotatory. So the beta D glucose is the most common sugar part that is used in the glycosides Y formation, and the others are the galactose, mannose, rhamnose, digitoxose, chimerose, etc. So that can be the sugar parts that will provide the transportation and the absorption of the glycoside at the site of action. Next is, as I told and you told also, that glycosides are derived from the primary metabolites, that is carbohydrate. Now, glycosidic linkage forms between OH group of glycol and the H group of the aglycol moieties with the loss of water. So let us assume that this is the aglycol. This is having the hydrogen and this is the glycan part having the OH group. So that OH and H group together forms the H2O, and with the loss of water the glycoside is formed. And here will be one linkage that we are proceeding in the next slide, but this is the basic thing. It is written that the aglycan part is having the hydrogen group and the glycan part is having the OH group, and together it will form the water. With the loss of water and providing one linkage, the glycoside is formed with the aglycan part and the glycan part. And glycosides can be present in alpha and beta form, whereas beta form is most obtained or most abundant among the glycosides. Next is the therapeutic effect of the glycoside is only due to the aglycan part, as I told. And the sugar moiety facilitates the absorption of the glycosides and the transportation of the glycon to the site of action. So glycosides are hydrolyzed to give a glycon part for action. Glycosides are hydrolyzed to give a glycon part for action. In this first slide, we saw that by the acid or enzymatic hydrolysis, where we were getting the glycon part and the glycon part, and this glycon part is responsible for the therapeutic action as it is written. So this is the one glycoside. This is one structure of the glycosides. Now up to this will be the sugar part or the glycon part. How can you recognize that? When you are seeing the structure of any sugar, like in biochemistry, you will see the structure of the sugars like mannose, galactose, etc. And by the structure you can recognize that this is the sugar moiety, of course. And that steroidal part will of course be the therapeutic part or the glycon part, because steroid is not a sugar. So this steroid part will be definitely the glycon part or the therapeutic part of the glycoside. And this linkage is oxygen. And I told that there can be 4 atoms which can act as linkage: oxygen, carbon, nitrogen and phosphorus. Sulfur, not phosphorus, this is sulfur. So this 4 atoms will be there for acting as a linkage between the glycon and the glycon part. So this is the basic structure of a glycoside. When there is O's, mannose, galactose, digitoxose, chimarose, rhamnose, glucose, anything O's is the sugar. And there is the linkage oxygen, sulfur, carbon or nitrogen, and then will be the glycon part or the non-sugar part or the therapeutic part of the glycoside. So this is the basic structure of the glycoside. And now is the physical and chemical properties. So in the physical and chemical properties, we see that like the alkaloids, they are colorless also and some are colorful. In alkaloids, which were the colorful ones? Colored alkaloids are example. Anyone? There were 3 colors: red, yellow and orange or copper red. What was the red colored alkaloid?
Sanguinary.
Sanguinary টা হচ্ছে copper red. Red টা হচ্ছে beta-adenine. And yellow one, very common. Yellow.
Berberine হবে।
Yes, berberine. So that were the exceptions for the alkaloids. And for glycosides, they are also colorless commonly. And the colorful ones are the anthraquinone glycosides. And for the anthraquinone glycoside, we will start in the next class from the drugs. And they are solid amorphous, non-volatile chemical compounds. Gives chemical reaction with Molish reagent and the failing solution. Okay. Do you know why they give the results with the Molish reagent and the failing solution? For which kind of compound the Molish test and the failing test is required?
কার্বোহাইড্রেটের জন্য তো
ম্যাম কার্বোহাইড্রেট
Very good. For the carbohydrate, we do the Molish test and the failing test. Failing 1 and failing 2 is there. We get a mixture. and they form blue color, and after that the test is done. So for the precursor of the glycosides, we know that the precursor of the primary metabolite for the glycosides are carbohydrate, and glycoside is also containing the sugar part also. So they will provide the chemical reactions with the Molisch reagent and the Pelling solution, and they are water soluble and insoluble in organic solvents, and most of them are bitter in taste. These are not that important. Just know that the colorful ones are the anthraquinone glycosides, and they will give chemical reaction in the Molisch test and the Pelling solution also. Now is the classification of the glycosides. So the classification of the alkaloids were very important, but the classification of the glycosides are not that much recognizable, that are not that much important. What is important is the third one, this one, based on the linkage between glycon and aglycon parts. Before that, based on the aglycon part of the glycoside. Based on the aglycon part means based on the therapeutic activity, based on the chemical structure present in that aglycon moiety of the glycoside. Any particular group will provide separate actions for the separate kind of glycosides. So according to the chemical nature of the aglycon moiety, they are grouped into some compounds, and each one will provide separate actions. So there are anthraquinone glycoside, they contain the anthracene ring, sterol glycoside, saponin glycoside, cyanogenetic glycoside, isocyanate glycoside, coumarin glycoside, isocoumarin glycoside, aldehyde, phenol steroidal, and miscellaneous glycoside. Each of the drugs of that particular glycosides we need to cover in our future classes. And for the anthraquinone glycoside, there is Sena. For the saponin glycoside, there is, do you know what is the saponin glycoside? It sounds like the cardiac glycoside digitalis, but it is different. The saponin glycoside is the Dioscorea. We need to cover that also. The aldehyde glycoside, the phenol glycosides, there are interesting points actually. We will cover it in the further classes. So these are the classification based on the aglycon part of the glycoside. That aglycon part contains separate chemical structures. For the separate chemical structure, they will provide separate or different therapeutic activities. So that are the classification based on the aglycon part of glycoside. Now, based on the glycon or the sugar part of the glycosides. So different kind of sugar parts can be present. There can be glucose, there can be mannose, galactose, anything. So based on that, different glycosides are there. For the glucose, the name of the glycoside will be glucoside. For rhamnose, rhamnoside, digitoxos, digitoxoside, and pentose is the pentoside. So these are very basic things. These are not that of our concern for our exam. What is important is these things. Based on the linkage between the glycon and the aglycon parts. So, as I told that, we take the hydrogen from the aglycon part and the OH from the glycon part and the hydrogen from the aglycon parts, and together this will make the water. So classification based on linkage, there is C glycoside, there is O glycoside, S glycoside, and N glycoside. Each one is having separate kind of examples and how they are formed. The glycon, OH, and the CH of the glycon. Together it will make the water, and the glycon, C glycon. This will be the linkage. So that is the C glycoside, and the H2O is the product. Sugar moiety is linked to carbon atom of the non-sugar moiety. So this is the C glycoside. Now examples are important. These are basic thing. You can see in the further also that OH of glucose and H of aglycon is taken, and the glycon O aglycon O glycoside is there. For the S glycoside again sulfur is there, so the glycon is aglycon is glycoside and water are the products. For the N glycoside also there will be OH H water and the glycon N aglycon and N glycoside and H2 will be the products. What are important then? Important parts are the examples. So the example for the C glycoside are SAC, SACC. C glycoside contain 2C in their example. You can remember like that. That will be the SAC. SAC is for Senoside from Sena, A for aloine from aloe, C for cascaroside from cascara, and porcinin or the carbonic acid. All of this contain the C glycoside or C linkage in their structure. C glycosides are also called as aloine type of glycoside. Why? Because they are mainly present in the members of Liliaceae. Aloe is the Liliaceae family member. Aloe family for aloe vera is Liliaceae, and they are not hydrolyzed by heating with dilute acid or alkali but by oxidative hydrolysis with FeCl3 into glycol and sugar. So dilute acid or alkali or by heating they are not hydrolyzed like the normal thing as in the first slide that acid or enzymatic hydrolysis break them into aglycon and glycol moiety. This does not happen for the C glycosides. Then what is done? Oxidative hydrolysis is done with FeCl3 that break them into aglycon and the sugar part. Clear or not clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is the O glycoside. O glycoside again the examples are ORS. ORS we know it's a very even for 2 days, last 2 days, ORS is a hot topic. And ORS is the example of the O glycoside. O for O glycoside, R is the 1 minute. R is the rhubarb. And cascaroside also. I think cascaroside is not the example. Rhubarb is the example. Yes, rhubarb. R for rhubarb and S for senoside. So ORS is the example for the O glycoside. The glycosides from rhubarb, the glycosides from senna, and O for O glycoside. These are the examples. The glycoside we get from rhubarb is rein. We will cover it in the anthraquinone glycoside portion. For now, you only know the names. O for O glycoside, R for rein from rhubarb, and S for senoside from senna. Next is the S glycoside. S glycoside is the presence of sulfur as the linkage, and example is cinegreen from the black mustard. That is the sulfur containing glycoside is the cinegreen from black mustard, and that pungent odor is for the cinegreen. The pungent odor for black mustard is for cinegreen, and they are formed by interaction of the sulfhydryl group of the glycons and the hydroxyl group of the glycon. This is the sulfhydryl group. This SH is the sulfhydryl group and this is the hydroxyl group of glycon. Together they make the water, loss of water, and glycon is as a glycon that will further proceed to the sulfur glycoside, S glycoside. Now is the N-glycoside. N-glycoside is like the previous, that in each group of the glycon and the OH from the glycon together they will make the N-glycosides, nitrogen containing glycoside. Example are the rutein and the quercetin. Both of them are the N-glycosides. So these are the glycosides related to the linkage. Any problem? Anyone? Do you have any problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then next is the common chemical test for the glycosides. These are not the general chemical test. These are the general chemical test. These are not the particular identification test. We will cover the particular identification test, like after every classification we will cover the particular test for each drug, like we have covered in the alkaloids. These are the general chemical test. So first is the Born-Tragers test. In the Born-Tragers test, we take the test solution, we get the filtrate from that. To the filtrate, from the filtrate, the organic layer is separated. How to separate the organic layer practically? Do you know? The practical knowledge.
Separating funnel there.
Separating funnel. We use the separating funnel for separating the organic layer. We collect that by opening the tap and the layers are separated. So that to the organic layer we add the NH3 and that ammoniacal layer become pink due to the anthraquinone. So this is the particular test for the anthraquinone glycosides. We get the identification for the anthraquinone by the Born-Tragers test, and there are two tests for the Born-Trager one. The Born-Trager test and the modified Born-Trager test. One is for the CO linkage, one is for the CC linkage. So we will cover it after few classes. And next is the Baljeet test. Baljeet test uses the picric acid, and whenever there is the picric acid reaction, that will be yellow in color. The precipitate will be yellow in color. In alkaloid, we use the picric acid also for which test?
Hager's test.
Yes, Hager's test. For the Hager's test, to the test solution, we use the picric acid that will form the yellow precipitate. Here also, orange to yellow color precipitate is formed. You can remember that picric acid is actually itself yellow in color. In my lab, there is picric acid and that is yellow in color, and whenever we are adding some amount of picric acid to our test solution, it will be yellow in color. So that is the Hager's test for the alkaloids, and for the Baljeet test, this will be the glycosides one. Now the Legal's test. The test solution is treated with pyridine and sodium nitrocoside solution, and sodium hydroxide is added to it. It will form the blood red color. And it is the Legal's test for the identification of the glycosides. And the Raymond's test is the last one, where the alkali or the methanolic alkali is used for the formation of the violet coloration. So that will be the Raymond's test. And last one is the extraction process of glycosides by Stas-Otto method. That is not that important for your exam. Still, I have attached it because I made the notes for the extraction process during my B.Pharm. So the drug containing glycoside is finely powdered and subjected to successive extraction in oxalate apparatus with alcohol or suitable solvent. You know that oxalate extraction, how the process occurs. In the heating mantle, we put the round bottom flask, the solvent, and it is heated to the boiling point of the solvent. And in the thimble, behind in the condenser, we put the drug, and after some times with each circle the solvents is concentrated, condensed, and after some height of the solvent it gets siphoned again. So with that circle, until the drug's color is faded or the solvent's color is faded or it becomes colorless, the process occurs. That is the oxalate extraction process. So like that, oxalate extraction is occurred. After the extraction, collect the extract and treat with the lead acetate to precipitate the tannins. After that, filter it and pass it to the hydrogen sulfide gas to precipitate the lead acetate. So we get the glycosides after drying and evaporation. And the chromatography spectroscopy are done for the identification. So up to this, there is today's class, and from the next class we will start our particular drugs and we will start the anthraquinone glycosides. So in today's class, any problem?
तो chemical test slide tag बता.
Other one having any problem? If you are having any problem, you can message me also for the jurisprudence also. And on 21st there will be an exam on the pharmaceutical jurisprudence. So do prepare well. And if you are having any problem for the today's class, you can tell me.
मैम आरेक्टरी in glycoside example.
Yeah.
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Other one having any problem?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I am ending for today. Thank you everyone.
Thank you ma'am.